Pain is a four-letter word I cannot define. Is it the loss of a friend or a pet or the gain of a disease they just don't know how to cure yet? People have told me to numb the pain and take a drink. But why? The Southern brings me no comfort. The Sobeski doesn't calm the Polak in me. And the wild turkey does not set me free. But that's because I haven't tried it yet. And I won't. I will not fall into that addiction, whether there is pain or folly, prickers on the holly, or whatever may seize the day. I will not fall into that addiction. But that does not mean there is not another one there. Just because you cannot see the affliction does not mean there is no attrition, does not mean my addiction is fake. Just because I don't drown my sorrow in 80 proof, or numb the pain with speed as if I'm in the fast lane, does not make my addiction fake. And though I won't tell you what, I will tell you it is warranted, and I will not apologize for my decision. My addiction has ruled me for a decade or more, but after this day I say no more. Though I said it before, I won't be my own whore. I will not sell myself to this addiction to gain a little pleasure. Some can see the beauty, the view, the river, the mountains. Some can love a song, the music, the tune, the lyrics, but not her. It's hard to see the beauty through a shade of gray. It's hard to love a song knowing the music will fade away. It's hard to be happy when life has always been that way. She sees the beauty in living things. She sees the beauty in living things. She smiles in the face of a pet. She becomes happy when she reaches where the wild things are. The difference between human and wild life is no difference at all. She knows this is a wild life and she finds the beauty in others. She sees herself in shades of gray, but others in bursts of color. Colors she knows to be magnificent, emotions she can see. Feelings of those around her that she knows too well, but shows too little. She has roaring colors inside. She has floods of emotions. She has held it all in for so long. She questions her own importance, her own colors, her own beauty. But the living things, they see the beauty in her.
Some can see the beauty, the view, the river, the mountains. Some can love a song, the music, the tune, the lyrics, but not her. It's hard to see the beauty through a shade of gray. It's hard to love a song knowing the music will fade away. It's hard to be happy when life has always been that way. She sees the beauty in living things. She sees the beauty in living things. She smiles at the face of wild creatures, but she does not smile at me, not as often as I would like. She does smile at me, but not always when I assume she might. She smiles when I'm a fool and when she really feels the love, but not as often as I'd like. I don't need her to smile because of me. I want her to smile just in life, at the little things, the small joys, the things that go right. To really smile not just because of the situation, but because of how things are, because of what it means to be. I don't need her to smile because of me. I want her to look in the mirror and smile at what she sees.
It whispers in my ear, yes. It whispers in my ear, do it. It whispers so much that I do as it says. My addiction is a pushy thing. I stayed up sleepless from a day full of mistakes that were fueled entirely by its persistent call. I took a long, long shower, hoping to wash it away. But I couldn't. I lay on my bed staring at a single star, hoping to wish it away. But I couldn't. I woke up the next morning, grabbed a bucket, grabbed a lighter, and I gathered everything that had fueled my addiction for almost 10 years. I went to the woods and I burned it. As the product burned, so did the bucket, because plastic is all we had, and even when things are going as planned, they don't go as planned. I fit it all in a bucket somehow. My thoughts, my broken conscience, everything that had fueled my hunger and quenched my thirst. I went inside and I washed my face. I went inside and I washed my hands. I washed my hands of this parasite that fed off my mind and body for so long. This was not the first time I used fire to stop my addiction. Once I took fire to it in the woods down the street, and once again it looked to feed. And the time before that, I threw it away and I cried to myself as I put fire into my wrists, because all I thought was maybe a little pain would make me realize my mistake. But finally, there it was, burned in the woods. A pile of yes. And finally, and today's gonna be great, a pile that not so long ago made my emotions wild and made my head spin. A pile not so long ago that would excite me when it came in. Now it lies there. Fire to the flame of my addiction. To the flame of my addiction, from I hate myself, to maybe I've done something right. This time, the fire has done its job. This time, I have done my job. This time, my addiction's job is done. This time, I am free. Do you know what dysphoria feels like?
What?
What it's like to try and speak? How it feels when you look down and see exactly what you don't want to see. See, with most, dysphoria sticks around. But with me, it comes and goes. She fights with him, and he fights with her. Do you know how hard it is to speak when the air won't enter your lungs? Low breaths, dark nights, no lights to get you through the days. The wrong clothes, whose are those? Right now, they're not mine. But later they will be. It'll feel great. I know it will. It'll feel right. Tight jeans, tight shorts, tight dress, short skirt, small shirt. The makeup. It'll feel right. But right now, they're not mine. Low breaths. Do you know how hard it is? She fights to speak when the air won't enter your lungs. He fights when you look down and see. Do you know what dysphoria feels like? Sorry. Nothing. Sorry. Ask me if I love her, and I'll smile. Ask me if we fight, and I'll smile. She deserves a throne, but sits in a chair. She deserves a prince, but too often kisses frogs. She needs a best friend, but too often she has me. She needs someone to talk to, but too often I'm stressed about everything. Wishing for better days, wishing I knew what to say. We argue and become frustrated. I love you! I yell at her. In my head. But we're too bothered by the rudeness in what was said. Being 100% honest can be a bitch. But she was one of the first people to know all of it. I try to make her as happy as I can, but how happy can I make someone if I'm a sad man? Too stressed, too often, I don't know what to do. I'm disappointed and sad, but I just want to be close to you. Closer and closer, and I don't know what I should do. But I know when you're happy, I'm happy too. This thing tears at me from the inside. It rips at every inch of my skin. This skin I don't feel comfort in starts in my chest or in my head. I can't tell anymore, but it shreds me up inside. This addiction is destroying me, my body, its playground, but I need restoration. Or resurrection. This repetition is killing me. Twisted state of mind, this twisted state of mind, the triggers are everywhere. This addiction of mine is a loaded gun, and every time I feed into it, I end up dead and disappointed on the floor, hurting myself more than before. I wish I could go back to before. Before the first time, before the first thought. Make it go away, make it full force. Just don't leave me in between. Don't leave me in the middle. I am powerless in the middle. This thing tears at me from the inside. It rips at my skin. The skin I am torn apart within. Tell me it's not depression. Tell me that when I go through tissues like seconds, that there's no need to cry. Tell me that crying myself to sleep and waking up the next morning still crying is something I'll get over. Tell me it's not depression. Tell me that because I didn't go to the doctor to hear them say it, it can't really be depression. Explain to me how the marks on my wrist can multiply, but you can tell me that everything is going to be fine. Tell me it's not depression. Tell me the 3 months of wanting to be nowhere is not depression. Not somewhere else, not just not here. I want it to be nowhere, because nowhere means no people, means no pain, means no here. Tell me that's not depression. How can a young man drown in his tears while hugging his father, telling him it just hurts so bad? Tell me why I asked him to make it stop, but we both know he couldn't, and we both cried. Tell me it's not depression. Tell me it's not depression. How after 2 years I'm still crying as I say this. Tell me it's not depression. Explain to me why posters are precisely placed to perfectly protect me from the holes I left there, with damaged feet and fists and a damaged heart. Tell me that 3 months of suicidal thoughts was normal. Tell me that it's not what I think it is. Explain how I was done for so long, and 2 years later, one day almost killed me with new pain. Why a month ago did I stare at the bottles in my closet and wonder why I didn't empty them into my body, just to cleanse this new pain? Tell me that it's not what I think it is. Help me understand. Why I called my best friend and told her I wanted to hang out when the day hadn't even begun. I wanted her there to be my net. Because no matter how many nicknames, a best friend is a friend who will save you. Tell me that it's not what I think it is. Explain to me why I cried and I thought, please tell me it's not depression. Please make it stop. Make it stop. Please. Dad.
I want to. I don't know how.